Hi everyone, long time no see, and yeah, we're gonna have an interesting project today. It's called the Thalassa, the Edge of the Abyss. So the publisher is Team 17, and the developer is Sarepta Studio. So I was playing it on PC platform, and Thalassa, Age of Abyss, follows a long, deep sea diver as explodes of wreckage of the ship to determine how it sank and how fate of its crew. That's about as much as I want to tell you. Like other grave misery games, it's been to go in completely blind. Any further discussion of its misery, themes, or gameplay will inevitably spoil just a little bit of the story. Even knowledge of the events and prologue will rob you at the shock of this game begins, which is vital in my opinion to get most of the things tragic tale. If you want to go in with no spoilers, just skip directly to the summary, and that's it. Despite ranking the Thalassa, the Age of Abyss, alongside the other great misery games, it is not because it's mystery and is extremely complex or unique. Its strength in the humanity of the characters and their motivations, rather than any bombastic plot twist. You can play as a deep-sea diver who takes some shore level from the vessel of Thalassa after experiencing a traumatizing personal loss. During your leave, the Thalassa and its crew misery sink to the bottom of the ocean. So you and the only other surviving crew member, Bailey, set out to dive to the Thalassa's resting place to find out it sank and the fates of the crew on board. Really, it's about the managing the grief of the lost and the search for the closure. What makes Thalassa great is the gameplay integrates exploration and the misery solving with the teams to great effect, trying to expectations of the genre in with calm's motivation. Inspecting the objects around sunken ship will either reveal a new misery to solve a new clue and will be added to the mysterious menu. Assembling the clues to solve a mystery, it is a little confusing at first, but it is simple to get grasp as known mysteries are very convoluted to solve. So it gives more of waking simulation vibe. There is many intriguing stories woven by the multiple crew members on the board of the Thalassa. As you tread their footsteps throughout the final days above water, you can't help be dragged into the drama. Whose actions will make the fatal mistake that will doom them all. The easygoing mechanic Kadri, the experienced engineer Thomas, the nursery reporter Jesse. The team is a loss, especially confronting in the prologue, enough to warrant a content of warning to death and drowning, which the game thankfully provides. During the story, Cam will be haunted by these loss, hallucinating visions and voices of various characters. These voices serve as the inner monologue for Cam as he searches the ship for clues about the Thalassa sank. The ship and its contents are hauntingly beautiful, suspended in time by the deep seawater. Having a briefly seen at the ship in its fully glory in the prologue, you really feel the tragedy and loss of its sad fate. The atmosphere on the board is eerie, and this is always the feeling that something terrifying could happen at any moment. It wouldn't have felt out of place at all for the story to turn supernatural, to introduce sea demons like a kraken, like a Return of Obra Dinn, another terrific notional misery game. But it never does. It remains grounded in a cold, harsh reality, and that is crucial for the game theme of closure and grief. You are in a very literal sense searching for answers to your questions, connecting the clues you find together like a big jigsaw puzzle to find out what caused the ship to sink. This is tied to Cam's need to find the reason for the main tragedy in the prologue, which is the main lines of inquiry to solve what caused the accident, and more importantly for Cam, who's to blame for it. There are a whole host of miseries on the board in littered faded vessel, which you will cover one by one. Many of them are interconnected, so solving one may provide you with a new clue for another. The ship is filled with as much atmosphere as its water, which has helped a great attention to the detail. No effort was spreaded in designing the Thalassa many rooms and features. The ship has a real lived-in atmosphere. You can be that dozens of people actually lived and worked on it. Strewn around the ship are work items, clothes, books, crates, hobby items, and charts, all of which contribute to the haunted, abandoned vibe of the place. Another nice detail is the sludging movement of the Calm in his diver suit, complete with an effect that makes the inside of his helmet visible when you look around. This doesn't pose a problem in easy game, as I was taking my sweet time inspecting every square inch of each new room anyway, but it sure becomes an annoyance later when the game insists that you backtrack throughout the multiple floors of the ship to inspect a new room. The game has you to do this a bit too often, and also employs my least favorite trick of mystery games, which is having a visible clue only be interactable after a set point in the story. There's no need for this. Just let me pick up the damn key and I can see right on the floor. If you're going to make point of making your player character move at the speed of moles, you'll be better rethink backtracking mechanics like these. Besides the backtracking, the only major strike against the game I can give is the game performance, which I found generally poor. Lagging and screen tearing were constant, and in a game where the pacing is already show, this can turn it glacial. This might be a result of many high-detail objects the game has to render that's having to explain constant slowdowns I experienced. Turning down the graphical quality helped somewhat, but I didn't completely eliminate the problem. Even trying to open the map or switching menu tabs operated on the constant lag, and you have to check that damn map constantly. I hope the game will be poached later to improve the performance. It is easy to get into the role of Cam, having experienced the tragedy with him and having briefly met the crew of the Thalassa prior to its sinking. You share the Cam's incentive to find the truth as more and more of mysteries are solved and answers begin to take shape. As an avid consumer of mystery stories and the games, I found that my expectations as the player were a twisted reflection of the Cam's. I expected a big twist that I found a hidden villain behind it all, or perhaps that all of the crew members had made it out somehow. After all, we never saw the bodies, right? Everyone knows if you don't see the body, they are not really dead. Thalassa takes advantage of these expectations to put the player in the Cam's shoes. So that's when the answers are coming from. And maybe I didn't solve all the mysteries, maybe there is a secret ending that I missed. Maybe if I reload the game or return to Thalassa one more time, I might find out what really happened, or I could just move on. Sometimes this is all we can do. So in conclusion, Thalassa Edge of Abyss is one of the games that best played blind. It's a grounded yet entrailing misery that uses the light clue combining mechanics to convey an emotional journey of horrors and grief. Its puzzles get you thinking without even being too hard, allowing the story to naturally play out in the lonely ruins of sunken ship. Well, what was negative about this game, its slowly backtracking throughout the ship is a pain and performance is annoyingly poor. And I think it's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, and thank you for just being here. And you know what? I just want to say that Edge of Abyss tasks you with solving an incredibly engaging misery, as I said before, right? So this is all about misery in incredibly unique, terrifying deep-sea setting. That's why. A fantastic story, a heart-wrenching ghost await you in thalassophobic thriller. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. You have a peace one. Bye.